slowing the thoughts as we come into our practice today. Just allowing yourself to relax into the posture, relax into the breath. Just allowing that quietness to come into your body at its own pace. All together, inhale, bringing hands to heart center. Staying here for a few more breaths. And then sharing the Omkar chant 3 times. Take a breath in. Om. Shanti, Shanti. Finding the mental focus either at heart center, if that is comfortable, or right between the eyebrows. At the Ajna chakra, different people have different comfort zones where they like to bring their mental focus. Keep it there as we chant 3 times the Guru mantra. Take a breath in. Om Hrim Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Hrim Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Hrim Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So release the pose, open the eyes. So I have to travel again next Sunday. So what I thought I would do for the next 4 days is go through a progressive sequence of yoga poses and techniques that will carry you through for some of the days that I'm not able to give class. I'll be in California, so once I kind of figure timings out, I can continue the class next week. So instead of beginning with pranayama, I wanted to come into a neutral tabletop on your forearms today. The focus today is all about the connection between the lower back, the pelvis, and the femur. That's the bone in the thigh that has to move within the pelvis. And the more mobility we have in these this section of the body, the easier and the less injury prone we are. So in this position, it is the cow and cat. Notice how much freer your pelvis and lower back is. As we inhale, we look up, dropping the pelvis, lifting the sits bones. As you exhale, you round, 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 and tuck. So go ahead, do it 5 times on your own and really notice the movement of the lower back, the pelvis, and that movement of the femur within the pelvis. Do it one more time and meet in the neutral tabletop. Now let's go ahead and come up to your hands so that you're in our usual position. And the same thing here. Inhale, look up. And exhale, round. Tucking, rounding, popping. Continue, 5 more on your own. One more. Meeting in neutral tabletop. Exhale, come into child's pose. Hold here. Notice the position of your back now as your hands are in front of you and you're really lengthening through the fingertips, feeling a really nice stretch throughout the whole spine, but probably even more so in that lower back. Let's come into a super, super easy downward facing dog. So inhale, come up to all fours, widen the knees, widen the legs, curl the toes under. So you can push up into your first downward facing dog, really easy. Doesn't matter if your knees are straight or not. What I'm looking for is a really nice lengthen back here. So the whole spine is in a neutral position as you drop the head. Again, it doesn't matter if your knees are bent. I'm not worried about your hamstrings right now. Hold here. If you're feeling tension in the lower back, that means you need to bend your knees a little bit more. Push through the shoulders, drop the head. As you exhale, gently come back down to your knees. And you can sit in Vajrasana or cross-legged position. The next series of things we're going to do is going to help us observe and find more balance and mobility in the lower back, pelvis, and that rotation of the femur within the pelvis. Why is this important? When we are doing a standing pose like warrior one, if we do not have the mobility in our lower back, pelvis, and the quadricep, what happens is that we end up compensating. We throw our rib cage forward, we overarch our back so that we're really throwing the weight distribution to so many different places because we're tight. We lack the mobility, the strength, and the balance in this area. So that's what we're going to focus on. Go ahead, come down on your back. Let's do some pelvic tilt so we really understand that relaxation and then the contraction. Remember, the butt does nothing. The glutes, you do not tighten them at all. The minute you tighten your glutes, you're shortening your hamstrings. So you want to keep the glutes in a neutral position as we go through the pelvic tilt on our back. Let's review it. I find pelvic tilts like the panacea for so many lower back problems because we're finding mobility, balance, and lengthening these tight hip flexors. All right. Feet are behind the butt, hip width apart, little finger on the hip bone, thumb on the bottom rib. Just stay here for a second and relax into the mat. Notice what is natural for you in terms of your lower back. It's probably lifted just a little bit off the mat. Relax the neck and head. Now let's start to exaggerate the breath. A little bigger inhale. And a little deeper exhale. Notice what is happening to the lower back. And all you're doing is breathing a little bit deeper. You feel that movement between the hip bone and the rib cage. If you inhale, the distance is greater. If you exhale, it shortens again. That's just your normal pelvic tilt right now that you're doing without any conscious effort. Now let's bring a little effort into it. As you inhale deep, you're relaxing, feeling that curvature in the lower back. As you exhale, first contract the abs, bring the navel in, and then feel that little bit of a tilt by engaging the abs to bring your little finger closer to your ribs. All right, experiment with that a little bit. Remember, the minute you start to engage the glutes, you need to stop and bring your awareness back to just using the abs. You must exhale and contract the abs, the navel to the back before you start tilting stronger. Keep going. What we're doing here is lengthening the hip flexors, bringing awareness as we lengthen the tailbone. So we're also exaggerating and then flattening out the lower back. You feel this in warrior 1, warrior 2, a little more subtle in your standing triangle pose. You definitely feel this in your forward fold, standing or seated. One more. And come to a neutral position. Okay, so this was just another version of what we did cat and cow, right? Let's add a little more strength to it so that you see the subtleness of the movement. Lift the feet off the floor, so now your knees are over your hips. You can keep your hand underneath your head. You can lift it up if you have this kind of conditioning right now. If you don't, keep your head down. You can keep your hands by your hip bone and rib cage or underneath your head. Same thing here. Let's inhale, exhale, contract, tilt. Inhale, exhale, contract, tilt. Okay, do 5 more on your own and just play with this. You really want to find a natural relaxation of the back, which will get deeper and deeper as you practice this. And a nice control of the tilt, using the abs, the transverse abs, to lift and bring the hip bones closer to the rib cage. Do a few more, if it's more than 5. So now we're bringing a little bit of strength to this awareness. Last one. And relax. So if you remember from a couple years ago, we probably did, I don't know, 50 or 60 reps at one point with different leg positions. And we'll get up to that too over time. All right, from here, let's do a nice, easy spinal twist so that you can really feel a little bit of that pull in the hips, lower back, and hip flexors. Open the hands out to the sides, palms up. Let's use a pelvic tilt to float the knees over the hips. Take a breath in, relax. Exhale, contract, feel the tilt, and now lift the knees up. Let's do that again. Bring your feet down. It's really important that you don't tilt until you have exhaled and contracted the abs, okay? That puts you in a really nice position to use the core and stabilize the lower back. Let's do it again. Take a breath in, relax. Exhale, feel the contraction, feel the tilt, and float the knees out. Good. Exhale again, knees float right, you look left. Now you can play with this a little bit by keeping your heels underneath your knees or bringing your heels closer to your butt. You'll get a little different sensation in the lower back. See where you feel a nice lengthening and release of tension. We're looking for release of tension here. Stay here for 4. 3. 2. And 1. Even in this position, we can do that little pelvic tilt to engage the core before we come to center. Take a breath in. Exhale, contract, feel a bit of a tilt and flow to center. Opposite side, as you exhale, knees float left, look right. And again, you can play with the position of your heels. If you find that your shoulder blade on the right side is not going down, that means there's some tightness in the middle and upper back. So remember, we used to do this. Take your right hand and as you inhale, drag it along the floor so it is above your head with the back of the hand touching the floor. And as you exhale, sweep that arm all the way down to your hip. Inhale, sweep it up. And exhale down. This helps to open up not only the back by the spine, but if you do a lot of push-ups and you're kind of tight in your pectorals, this will loosen that up and allow the shoulders to fall towards the mat. Let's stay here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. To come back to center, take a breath in. Exhale, contract, feel the tilt, flow to center. As you exhale, release the feet down to the mat behind the butt. Coming into bridge, but only halfway. So that we can understand the pelvic tilt here. All right, watch me. I'm inhale, relax. Exhale, feel the contraction, feel the tilt, lift up. Let's see, I'm not going all the way up. I'm not going to the point where my glutes have to contract to hold the position. I'm just going up to what's natural. And then as I exhale, the very last thing to release is that pelvic tilt. And now I've got a relaxed position. My belly comes up, my back comes off the mat. All right, that's all we're doing, 5 times. Ready? Inhale, relax. Exhale, contract, tilt, slightly lift up. And exhale, release. Inhale, relax. Exhale, contract, tilt, lift up. Take a breath in so that you're comfortable when you exhale and relax down, rolling the spine down until you release that bit of a pelvic tilt. Inhale, relax. Exhale, contract, tilt, lift up. Exhale, release up. 2 more. Inhale, relax. Exhale, contract, tilt, lift. And then exhale, relax down. Last one. Inhale, relax. Exhale, contract, tilt, lift. And then relax. Using that same sequence, let's take it all the way up to a real bridge. Inhale, relax. Exhale, contract, tilt, lift up. Now engage the glutes as you lift higher and bring your hands underneath you. Shining the heart, bringing the sternum in the direction of the head. So now the glutes are in play to help lift up the pelvic bones towards the sky, but I'm really thinking about putting the weight on the upper back and opening up the middle and upper chest. So now I've got a real curvature in the lower spine. And I'm trying to open up through the middle back. Hold here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Now very slowly, as you exhale, you release the shoulders. As this is all happening, that lower back is losing the extreme curve as you're bringing the waist down. And after the waist, you can find out that you're lengthening the tailbone because you've got a pelvic tilt where the hip bones are a little closer to your rib cage. And then you relax and you're all the way down. So you see how your spine went through a series of movements? Let's do it again and really notice when your back is arched and when it becomes neutral. And then when you've got that tilt where the tailbone is long and you're lengthening the back. All right? It'll make sense once we do it. Okay. Inhale, relax. Exhale, contract, tilt, lift up. Okay, so now I've got a long tailbone, right? Keep lifting up, engaging the glutes. At this point, my lower back is starting to arch again. As I open up and feel the bridge pose. So I've changed the angle of my lower back, opening up the middle and upper back. As I come down, release the shoulders. Feel the upper back touch the mat. As the waist comes in contact, you feel that you're lengthening the tailbone. And when the lower back finds the mat, and the buttocks is on the ground, that's when you release, and you're in that relaxed position. Very nice. Let's come up to a seated position. Dandasana staff pose. Put your hand on your lower back. Like this. So this should be a neutral position. Bring your hand to your knees and just slump. Now put your hand on your lower back and feel there's more of a curve in the lower back. Inhale, sit up straight and feel the difference in the lower back. Exhale, slump. Inhale, come back. Feel the difference in the back? Feel how the skin is moving against the back of your hand as you do this movement. Do it a couple more times so that you're familiar with the movement of your body. This is going to help us when we do a standing forward fold. One more time. Wonderful. Let's come to a standing position. Dandasana, feet slightly apart. Okay. I kind of wore this outfit today so that you could see my belly and my butt and my rib cage as it moves around. Standing in Dandasana, we want to be in a neutral position. So put your hand on your back so you feel what is neutral for you. Let's exaggerate and find an arch in your back and then relieve the arch. So arching and then coming back in. Inhale, I arch, belly comes out. Exhale, come back to that more neutral position. Good. Come to a neutral position. We're going to do a forward fold. Bend your knees a little bit. Forward fold halfway. Keep your one hand on your lower back. Right now you're in a neutral position. There's a slight arch in the lower back. That's supposed to be there. As you exhale, start bending down. At some point, for some it'll be when you're 45 degrees, others it'll be 90 or a little more. You're going to feel your lower back start to round naturally. All right, that's just an indication of the mobility of your lower back, pelvis, and the lengthening of your hamstring. When you feel that point where your back starts to round, I want you to let it round, drop the head, and hang on to your elbows and just come down into an easy forward fold with your knees back. And just hang out here. Now, no matter where you are, we all have a nice rounded back. From the tip of our head, curved neck, curved upper back, curved middle back, and definitely a curve in our lower back. Just hold out here. Noticing what happens to our back as we come back, as we come up, put another hand on your lower back. You can put a hand on the floor or your side for balance. Start lifting the head, lifting the shoulders. That's it. I haven't even moved my back yet. Just lifted the head and shoulders up. All right, already in this position, you started to feel some tension in the back to hold you up. Now start coming up and you're going to see that that lower back is beginning to arch a little bit. It's supposed to. You come up and then come to knee. The reason why we're going through this is that I think I'm guilty of it as a yoga instructor and other people too. They all say, come down with a straight back, do this, do that. But that is assuming that you know when to introduce a little bit of a curve, when to be neutral, and when to have a lengthened back. And over time, you just do it automatically when you practice yoga. But it's always good to be aware of when it's happening and why it's happening. So let's do it again. You're in a neutral position with your back. Exhale, do a forward fold only until you feel there's a change in that lower back. That's just indicating again the condition of your mobility and length of your hamstrings. When you feel that that arch is compromised, is no longer comfortable, I want you to drop the head, round the shoulders, round the back, and continue coming back, no matter where you are. Let's all bend our knees, so now we really have a rounded back. If we can even rest our belly and chest on our thighs. For some of you, you can wrap your arms around the outside of your calves and hang out to your ankles maybe. Now we're really nice and rounded and it's really comfortable on the back. Make sure your hips are over your heels. You may have to rock forward. Now to understand again, the condition of our lower back and hamstrings, lift the head, look down at the mat a little bit in front of you. Place your hands in front of you, 1.5, 2 feet, whatever's comfortable. And as you exhale, slowly straighten the knees only until you feel a strain in the lower back. For some of you, you're straightened all the way. For others, no. No big deal. This is just understanding where our back is. Walk your hands just a little bit forward so that you're really lengthening the back as you drop the head. Then we have a nice long back. If there's a curve in your back, that means you need to bend your knees a little bit more. It could indicate that you're a little tight in the upper back, especially with your arms extended, okay? Hold here. Kind of relax into it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Slide your hands back as far as you can. Drop the head. Maybe you can hang on to your ankles and calves. And think about bringing your belly to your thighs. Again, I don't care if your knees are bent or not. What I'm looking for here is lengthening this lower back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees. Just the head and the shoulders lift. Okay, now you may be feeling a little bit of tension on that lower back. That's fine. Put your hands on your thighs. Inhale and start to stand up. Gradually bringing that lower back into your neutral position again, if you stand up. Let's come into warrior one. I'm going to show you something. If you feel that your warrior one, it's hard to do because your back leg, this hip flexor is not opening. Here are a couple of tricks. Your front foot is here in formal Ashtanga Vinyasa. The front heel is aligned with the middle of your back foot, right? You're like this, and your hips are pointed forward. Personally, I find this really hard to do because I don't have that kind of mobility in my hips. So what do? Open up that back leg a little bit to the side. Maybe 1 foot length. Then keep your hips square and bend that front knee. Now, what is interesting here, I'd like you just to go bend and come back, is feel where your lower back starts to get compromised and you're losing the squareness of your hips forward. Or if you're not losing it, you're starting to feel tension in the front of this right hip. If we go beyond where we're feeling that tension in the front hip, we start to arch our back and throw our rib cage forward. And that's not something that we want. If this is not challenging to you, then just widen your stance. Okay? So let's just play with that. It's something to think about when you're doing a practice. Is where am I comfortable before I start to arch my back in order to have my back leg straight. Because what that means is that our hip flexors are tight and my femur is not rotating within the pelvis to allow my back leg to be where it is. So that I can shorten my stance a little bit. There. Okay, let's come into a position wherever you're comfortable. Roll the shoulders up and back, hands are by your sides, open the hands, inhale, arms up, hands together, drop the shoulders. Now again here, there's a tendency to arch the back, throw the rib cage forward in order to extend the arms up. What that means is that you're a little tight in the middle and upper back, no big deal. Let's come back to a nice position where we are slightly bringing the tailbone down, not too much. Lengthen through the armpits, drop the shoulders. So you want to find that nice, comfortable medium so that we're having a distribution of weight load evenly over the joints. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. As you exhale, release your hands down to your sides. Come up on your back toe and step forward. Great, let's do the other side. Right foot is forward, left foot is behind you. Play with it and just see, okay, where am I comfortable with my hips truly forward, square forward, and bend that knee in the front and then come back. You just kind of feel, where am I? Sometimes it has a lot to do with the mobility of your ankle also, which means that has to do with the mobility and stability of your knee, which has to do with the rotation of the femur inside the pelvis, which has to do with how tight your lower back is. Once you kind of know where it's a comfortable position, let's stay there. Drop the hands, open the hands, inhale, arms up. At the top, release the shoulders down. Lengthen the back. You don't want to have a back bend here. And hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release your hands down. Lift the back toe up, or heel, I should say, right? And then step into Tadasana. Let's find your nice Tadasana. Just stay here and play with this. Once you're comfortable, hands are by your side, close the eyes. Just allow the allowing, allow this alignment to come into play. Why are these simple techniques so important? When we have an overarch in our lower back, we are releasing the core muscles in the abs that hold your internal organs where they're supposed to be. And over time, that causes a lot of strain. So we want to learn how to stack up naturally the spine, what is natural for your body, in a comfortable way where I'm not really expending a lot of energy to stand like this. And exhale, release. Let's do one more thing. Let's come down to the mat on our knees. So we're standing on our knees. We're going to do a little lunge here before we go to pranayama. Okay, on our knees, let's bring the left foot forward. Left foot forward, but let's just be in a 90-degree angle. Okay, in this position, let's feel that our hips are square. Okay, for most of us, that feels good. Check your lower back. Yep, it's in a nice neutral position. Release the hands down to the mat. Now slide your back knee backwards until you're in more of an extended lunge. With the support of our hands on the mat, our back is a bit curved, right? All the way from tailbone to the top of the head. When we release our hands and bring the chest up, this is when, if we don't have the flexibility in the hip flexors, we tend to overarch the back and thrust the ribcage forward. So I want you to just check yourself. Okay, in this position, can I still have a nice lengthened spine going up? Or am I overarching the back? And I need to bring my knee a little closer to the front leg and then resume the pose again. Let's bring our hands up, inhale, arms up, hands together, drop the shoulders. Here, again, there's a tendency to let the weight go forward and arch the back. Your weight, I don't mind if you open your hip a little bit more, but don't arch the back. Hold here, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, bring your hands down to the mat, either side of the left foot. Hamstring stretch, the spine is going to get into a nice curve here. As you exhale, you lean back and lift up the left toe. There can be a nice curve in the back from tailbone to the head. That's great, but you can also lift the head and shoulders, and when you do that, you feel there's a little more contact of your belly on your thigh because you've introduced a neutral or a little bit of a curve in the lower back now. That's fine. Okay, that's the difference. You can have a completely rounded back, and that's how we start. But as we gain flexibility in the pelvis and in the hamstrings, we can lengthen the back, introducing a curve to the lower back again. Hold here, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come back to your lunge. Hands are still down on the ground for support. Lift the head and shoulders. Perfect. As you inhale, let's bring that left foot back, left knee back. So we're standing on our knees once more. All right, these are really great things to be aware of. So when you're doing sun salutations, you're not just automatically running through your lunges. You're actually thinking about rib cage, hip, back. All right, inhale, step forward with the right leg. Only 90 degrees. Feel this, the squareness of this position. Feel the neutralness of your spine right now. Understand where that is. As you exhale, bring your hands down to the mat and slide your back knee backwards and open up this lunge a little bit. Now, you really know how flexible and what kind of mobility you have in that left hip flexor. When you release your hand, lift the torso up. So do a little observation. Okay, how am I doing? And my rib cage come forward, can I bring it back in line without feeling too uncomfortable in my hip? If so, stay where you are. If not, adjust the back knee a little forward. Bring our hands to the sides, open the palms, inhale, arms up. At the top, hands together, drop the shoulders. Again, without movement in the back, you can deepen this stretch by letting the weight come forward a little bit, but you don't want the back to change. Hold here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release the hands down on the back. Hamstring stretch. Exhale, sit back, lift up the right toes. Let's all be nice and rounded first. And then if you like, lift the head, lift the shoulders up. Feel that you're introducing the slight curve into the lower back so that your spine is maybe parallel to the mat. You feel connection of your belly or chest with your front leg. Hold here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come back. Curl the back toe under. This time we're coming into a downward facing dog. So if you inhale, you step the front foot back, and exhale, you come into your downward facing dog. That feels good on the back. Hold here. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Looking at your hands as you exhale, gently bring the knees down. Child's pose. Coming into Vajrasana, as you inhale, slide the hands back, sit on your heels, and lightly lifting your top. Roll the shoulders up and back, close the eyes, hold. And so Lisa's coming to a comfortable seated position. Five minutes of alternate nostril breathing. You're in position. I'll set the timer. So as we're doing this morning, really think about, okay, how can I elongate and just relax into this nice technique and enjoy it. All right, we're in position and begin. This cycle on the left side and moving both hands down. We'll come onto our back. Let's do a spiral twist. This time we're gonna do it with legs straight and see how that feels. There may be a little extra tension in the lower back, so bend your knees. So we start on our back, legs extended, go ahead, open up the hands to the sides, palms up. At this point, let's make sure our toes are pointing up towards the sky, knees, hip points are all up. Bring the right leg right into the middle of the mat underneath you. We'll bring the left leg up. Take a breath in. Exhale, contract, feel the tilt, and now just float that left leg up straight. From here, as you exhale, roll over the right hip. You look to the left. Let's hold here. Again, if you're feeling tightness in the left shoulder, remember we can inhale, extend the arm up over our head, keeping the back of the hand on the mat, and exhale, bring it back down to the hips. It's a nice way to open up the chest muscles. Stay here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. Take a breath in. Exhale, contraction, and float to center. On your next exhale, release the left leg down the mat. Let's do the opposite side. Take a breath in. Exhale, contract. So float the right leg up. On your next exhale, roll over the left hip. You look to the right. If you're feeling tension anywhere in the body when you do this, it really helps if you have a slight flexion in the ankle. That will keep the ankle, the knee, and the hip in line so that they're not twisting and you're feeling the twist in the spine where you want it to be. If that doesn't help, you can always bend your knees. That's perfectly fine. Hold here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to center, take a breath in. Now contract, feel the tilt, and flip the knee. Let's keep the right leg where it is and bring the left leg to meet it. Take a breath in. Exhale, contract, tilt, yep. From here, happy baby pose, bend both knees. Bring your hands in between the knees, grab the toes. And open up the happy baby. You can rock from side to side. This puts the lower back right in contact with the mat, so it supports it as we roll from side to side. And come to center and just fold here, feeling a nice opening in the hips. As you exhale, open up into a straddle. Straighten the knee, hold here. Inhale, bring the legs together. Both pointing up toward the sky. Exhale, release the hands to your sides, palms down by your hips. As you exhale, bend the knees and bring the feet to the mat behind your butt. And let's do a little pelvic tilt to lift up the hips and lengthen the back as we get into Savasana. Take a breath in. Exhale, contract, tilt, lift the hips up just a little bit. Feel that lengthening of the spine where the tailbone is going in the direction of your feet. Now, gently bring the hips down. Maintain that feeling in the hips as you exhale and extend the right leg and then the left leg down the mat. Release the tension in the hips and just relax the lower body. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky, palms towards one another. Lift one shoulder up and then the other onto the mat. And then as you exhale, relax the shoulders down, relax the hands to the sides, palms up. As you exhale, let the neck go to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale left. One more time. Inhale center. Exhale right. Inhale center. Exhale left. Inhale center. Take a few really nice cleansing exhale and allow the body to simply melt into. And enjoy your Savasana. Let's bring movement to our toes and ankles, knees, hips, and lower back. Moving the fingers and wrists. Perhaps lifting the arms up off the mat, bending the elbows. Gently swaying from side to side. Feeling nice, gentle spinal twist as the head moves left and right also. And then all together, let's roll to one side. Staying here, just enjoying the stillness. And with the help of your hand, as you exhale, rise up to a seated position. Bringing our hand into the Dhyana Mudra, palm up. Inhale, bring hands to heart center. And sharing the Omkar chant one time, take your breath in. Om. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Exhale, going down to the feet with you. Inhale, let's come back up. Opening the eyes back into full awareness. Further ready, getting ready for the day. Namaste. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day. Hope to see you tomorrow. Ciao.